This is my 1994 Land Rover Discovery 1. It's had a hard life and it knows it. Fair to say, maybe the sensible thing to do at this point would be to scrap it, but I actually can't bring myself to do that. I've had some amazing trips in it and met some great people through owning it. And had some really unique experiences, right? We've got a world record under our belt. That one's for the longest convoy of Land Rovers. Can't remember how many it was, but there were hundreds of people there. Just a great day that I wouldn't have done otherwise. Never had a 4x4 before. 4x4 before. And it's not like I thought it would be. Any other car, scratch it up, dent it, really undermined its inherent value. But with an off-roader like this, they become personal memories, warm with pride, and undermine its inherent value. It literally has become part of the family, and it's just a very useful vehicle to own. So what's the story? Well, 160,000 miles, the engine has a huge leak from the rear, smokes, steams, has tappet noises and gets very hot. The automatic gearbox keeps blowing oil coolers, and the last thing that really took the car off the road was the gearbox blowing a seal at the rear. So quite a lot, as I'm only talking about the issues that are very wrong and not the million and one other smaller issues. The car in general actually is pretty tidy. I would say it's rust free for its, well, sorry, I wouldn't say it was rust free, that's the last thing I would say. But comparatively speaking, the rust situation is under control. Laughable as it is to say, this is an ES top of the range model, so it does have all the extras you could have in the day. And in that mind makes it, you know, somewhat more valuable, I don't know. I do get the sense that Discovery ones are becoming slightly more rare, and I've also fixed a number of issues already, including power steering, swivel joints, transfer case, etc. So in a better the devil you know moment, I'm just going to crack on and see if I can fix all that is wrong currently. I've always fancied rebuilding an engine, and you know, why not cut your teeth on the mighty Rover V8, as they say. So I'm wheeling it back into the shed for some major work.
Seems funny to think that might be the last time it runs under its own steam.
My plan is to remove the ancillaries from around the engine and take the heads off. This will give us a first glimpse into the engine's kind of general health from the top. Should give us an idea of how well it's been maintained in the past. I mean, an example is the Rover V8s. They've got the pressed cylinder linings and they can slip. So, you know, taking the heads off will give an immediate kind of answer onto whether it's that or not that's been making it steam. All these projects seem to have to start with unimaginative jobs like draining the oil from the engine and emptying the coolant from the radiator. Brilliantly, I managed to catch every single last drop of water this time. Next was to start stripping the general engine bay down. There's quite a bit of work here, taking the ancillaries and such out. Knowing this, I thought it was best to show it in a time lapse, though because I've got a new camera, I thought I'd better practice those first, so that I wouldn't miss the footage of the engine, but I missed the footage of the engine because I ran the battery out whilst taking the time lapses of Felixstowe docks, so here you go. Okay, so this is where we are the next day. This is where I left it at last night. You can see I've got the air conditioning off, the alternator, the bracket that holds it, obviously all the belts, cooling tanks out. Got the radiator out, which is sitting on the floor down here. And certainly you can see that that is pretty full of mud. So that probably wasn't helping my cooling issues at all. So this, in essence, I suppose is, with the exception of maybe the power steering, as stripped back as it needs to be round the engine. So my next job now is to start attacking it from the top down. But before I do that, I do have one job which is unique to me, which I'm going to tackle at the beginning of the next video. So catch you then.